Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So you have to apply the things you hear, even if you believe you know it. Do you apply it? Do you apply it? So what did we just hear? This is all about what? Thinking like a champion, having the mindset of champions, having the mindset of people that continue to grow and push themselves and become great at what they do. We all have greatness inside of us. You all have greatness inside of you, but you got to start thinking that way. I think it was Miles Monroe in there said you got to change how you see yourself. It's a big task, right? But you got to change how you see yourself. You may think you're only capable of a certain thing. The life that you're living. He said something powerful in there, something like, you are what you thought you should be. Like you are who you think you should be. You are currently who you thought you should be right now. So if you don't like who you are, then you have to change how you think about yourself. You have to change that part of it. If there are actions and habits and traits that you have currently that you're not pleased with, it's not living at your highest potential. You are underperforming in life. If you know those things, that has come from how you've thought about yourself. So, in order to change who you are currently at this stage, so that in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, in 8 years, in 10 years, you're a completely different person, you have to think about yourself differently. You have to change how you think about yourself. You have to change the standards you've set for yourself. You have to change the language that you use around yourself, your habits, your behaviors, all of those things. One of the things I always tell you, right? We never have the saying, we never say out of our mouth, that's just how I am. That's just who I am. That's just how I like. We don't say that. That's fixed. That's fixed mindset. That means you're limiting yourself to thinking this is how you have to always be because this is a trait that you've had that you can remember. But that's not our language, right? We can always change. That's just not how I am or who I've been. This is, right, who I'm becoming. It's about who you're becoming. It's about changing how you view yourself. So that's a key. That's one of the things that we know. Another thing you heard in there was about what? Flooding your mind with gratitude, right? You make the decision every single day that your eyes open. Every single day that God gives you breath and that you open your eyes, and you're like, man, I'm here for another day. You get to choose what your dominant thoughts are. You get to choose what your first thoughts are of the day. It could be of worry, of fear, of to-do list, of things that you got to get done that you didn't do yesterday. It can be, right, all those things. Or it could be of gratitude. Yesterday, Thanksgiving was the day of gratitude, right? The day to everybody before you ate food around the table said all the things you're grateful for. It was the first time you said it in 6 months, right? Like whatever the last time you said out loud something you were grateful for. But it's a practice that we should be doing all the time. It's very easy for me to bring up things that I'm grateful for because I can start with very small things and I can go to very big things that I'm grateful for. But it's a practice because I do it every single day. I choose to think of things I'm grateful for every day I wake up. So when Thanksgiving comes and it's time to be around the dinner table, it's not like, I don't know what to be grateful for. Let me just repeat what the person before me said, right? That's what a lot of people do because they that's not where their brains go. Their minds are not focused on things they're grateful for. They need a day in order to do that. Not us, though, right? You want to get to your ideal life. You want to wake up. You want to be excited about life. You want to be able to continue to push yourself in the right directions and feeling good every day. Well, you got to start flooding your mind with gratitude every morning. You got to start thinking about the things you're grateful for because it'll give you more things to see that you're grateful for versus the other side, the things you don't have, the lack, all the other things. Okay. Uh, Someone in there talked about your ability to take a loss. It's important, your ability to like get knocked down and get back up. It's real easy to win. There's not a lot of lessons learned when we're winning. I think Tony Robbins in there said when people win, right, they party, right? But when people lose, they ponder, right? So it's in the wins. You're like, oh, everything's great. Let's go party. Let's go make it happen. You didn't really learn anything from you winning. But by you taking a loss, by you not hitting the goal, by you not getting the result that you wanted, most times people don't party. They ponder. How did I get here? Man, why did that not turn out the way I wanted to? What is it that I need to do differently? And in those times, is when we learn. It's when we grow. It's when we get better. It's when we then can reach the goal. It's because we've taken a loss and we understand that failure is not final, right? That these are just learning lessons that you have to get through in order to get to the life that you want, in order to become the person that can handle the life that you're asking for. But at the end of the day, Tony Robbins used a word in there that I always hone in on: momentum, something that we have to learn how to keep and how to build is momentum, right? He said, once you make a decision about something, you have to take immediate massive action. This is the difference. This is the difference between many average people and the people that are, right, world-class performers, extraordinary people that are great in what they do, is they take massive action once they make a decision. A decision that you can make today, you do something immediately that moves you towards action. See, what most people do a lot of times is they make a decision and say, I'll start on December 1st, right? You make the decision today, but you're actually not taking action until December 1st. I've been guilty of it. It's a very human, normal thing to do. I'm not prepared right now, but give me 2 days and I'll be prepared. Yeah, well, the separator, that little difference between people that are average and people that are great, they make the decision and then they take immediate action right away. And what does that do? It builds momentum. And you need momentum in order to go off and build the life that you want, in order to design your ideal life. It takes a form of momentum. Things have to be rolling in the right direction and continuing to pick up for you in many different areas of your life. So that's why in the text, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets, it says the great ones are masters of momentum. Masters of momentum. Here's what it says: the masses are oblivious to the magnitude of the role momentum plays in the performance of emotional creatures. The world class knows an emotional creature on a hot streak can become a champion if the momentum lasts long enough. Momentum is a state of mind that ignites energy, enthusiasm, and passion. Say that again. Momentum is a state of mind that ignites energy, enthusiasm, and passion. A professional salesperson who thinks he's in momentum sounds and acts like a different person. In fact, emotionally speaking, he is a different person. The great ones use momentum to fuel their passion and transfer their beliefs to others. Professional performers learn to control their emotions and create the perception of momentum before it technically exists. The great ones know if the perception of momentum is present, confidence and power will continue to increase. While average people stumble into momentum from time to time, world-class performers create this emotional thought process from scratch. Momentum is a subjective emotional perception and therefore will be manufactured and therefore can be manufactured in the mind. This artificial creation attracts more momentum until world-class performers are rolling forward like a locomotive. The major distinction: average people wait for momentum to strike, the great ones create it on demand. Average people wait for momentum to strike, the great ones create it on demand. That means you can create your momentum. You can create momentum for any of the areas of your life, but you have to know that it starts now, right? You create momentum. You don't just fall into it like it says here, or just wait for it to strike. You build it. How do you build it? By taking small steps forward, by doing small things, by collecting small wins. The more you collect a lot of small wins, the more momentum you get. We talk about this in the financial space when we help people get out of debt. There's a strategy called the debt snowball or debt avalanche. Dave Ramsey talks about it. But basically, one of them says if you got a bunch of credit cards or a bunch of debt lined up, if you take the highest interest rate first, pay as much as you can to that, pay the minimum to everything else, and then kind of snowball your way into it by paying off all your debt. That's one side. There's another side, which is the avalanche side, I believe, that says if you take the lowest balance card first, let's say you got 7 credit cards, you take the lowest balance card first and you pay that one off, regardless of what the interest is. And then you pay the next lowest balance card off, and then the next one. that's a strategy. And eventually you pay off the one that has the highest balance. So those are two different sides. And when I coach people, and I've talked to plenty of couples about this, normally one side wants one way and the other side wants the other way. But regardless, I tell them it's both the same thing. Some people just like the momentum. Some people just like the momentum of paying off a card and all of a sudden noticing, man, I've paid off 5 cards, even though they were only $100 balances or $200. I paid off 5 of them. So now I can start attacking the bigger ones, and they feel better about their process because they've picked up some small wins, some momentum. Some people that don't need that side of it prefer to go the other way and just pay the highest interest. And whenever they pay it off, they know they're doing the logical thing. But for most people that are emotional creatures, especially around money, right? We're emotional creatures. There needs to be a form of, again, momentum, state of mind that ignites energy, enthusiasm, and passion. So the thing that ignites energy and enthusiasm in someone paying off their debt is maybe that they pay off 5 or 6 of them very rapidly. That builds momentum. It's small wins. That's an example in the financial world. Can you do that in your health? Can you just say, hey, I'm going to wake up and walk every day? Can you just say, hey, I'm going to eliminate one thing out of my diet? I'm just going to take out fried food this month. I'm just going to take out coffee this month. I'm just going to take out an energy drink this month. Like, just take out one thing and just build on that win. If it's a time management thing, hey, I'm just going to make my bed every day. Every day I wake up, I'm just going to make my bed. And you know what? I'm also going to read 10 pages a day. Okay, let me add on to these small wins, and that builds momentum. So the key, ladies and gentlemen, is just getting started. You just got to get started. The momentum's not going to strike you. You build it by just putting one foot in front of the other, just doing the work, taking immediate, massive action around the things that you're trying to attack, whatever the things are in your life, whatever the topics, whatever the areas are, whatever the categories that you're like, I need to improve. 2025 is going to be a different year for me in this area. Start now building the momentum. Start now putting one foot in front of the other, doing the small things, getting the small wins. Because again, this is what you might not have energy for it or enthusiasm or passion for the thing just yet, but it's because we haven't built any momentum for it. We haven't built any momentum towards it. Those of you that are in business with me know this is what happens in business. If you get one sale, if you get a chance to recruit one person, if you have one thing happen, it builds momentum for you. It builds energy, it builds enthusiasm, it builds passion. That's what happens. So you can do this in all the areas of your life, ladies and gentlemen. And you got to think about this as we head into a brand new year. Again, we're coming up on December. We're coming up on having the last 30 days, 31 days of the year of 2024. This is normally when we start having those internal conversations about what are we going to change? What's going to be different? How is 2025 going to be our year? What are the things we want to leave in 2024? And what are the things we're trying to pick up in 2025? This is the times we start talking about it and thinking about it. So I'm going to encourage you to start building the momentum now. Whatever those things are, whatever your vision is, whatever the areas are you want to make the biggest impact, start now building momentum towards it. Don't wait until January 1st. Don't wait until December 31st. Don't wait until the last week of December to start building it. Build it now. Build it now and watch all the other things start to happen for you. Because again, it says it in here. The great one, if the great ones know if the perception of momentum is present, confidence and power will continue to increase. So imagine your confidence continuing to go up. Imagine, right, your personal power continuing to grow, continuing to feel better about where you are. It all starts by just taking one step at a time, doing one thing at a time. Here's this quote. It says, momentum producers understand an important law of physics. Objects at rest have no momentum. They know the power of their thinking, planning, and acting. Bottom line, momentum producers are hard to stop. If you're at rest, if your body is at rest, if your mind is at rest, there's no momentum. There's nothing moving. We got to get things moving first and foremost. Action step for today, y'all, says keep repeating this. I have massive momentum. Keep repeating that to yourself. Write it up on your wall. Put it on the screensaver on your phone. Write it on your board at home. Put it on your refrigerator. We used to post things on the door before we leave the house and on the refrigerator, the two places we always go, right? We're always looking at the refrigerator. We're always going to walk out the door at some point. We used to put our scriptural affirmations or other affirmations on there. So maybe if some of you want to get some of your momentum back, maybe this is something you write around your house. I have massive momentum. Maybe you say that to yourself over and over again. I have massive momentum. Maybe you're constantly writing that out, or when someone's asking you a question, right? Hey, how's the day going? Man, I have massive momentum. What if you said that to people? How's your day? Oh man, it's great. I have massive momentum. What if you just said it over and over again? It'll start to lock in and your brain will go to work thinking about it. It says find different ways to program yourself with this message until you believe it, until you begin to believe it. Remember, the subconscious mind cannot make the distinction between what is real and what is vividly imagined. Sometimes we don't grasp that one point, y'all, but you got to grasp it. The subconscious mind cannot make the distinction between what's real and what's vividly imagined. It doesn't know the difference. It can't see. Like, it's your subconscious mind, which means you can program it for things that are real or not real. It says use the power of language to talk yourself into an emotional state of momentum towards your goals. How you speak, your language is so important, y'all. There's another opportunity you get to practice it. You get a chance to practice it to get to the life that you want. I love you guys. I want y'all to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. Hopefully, we all had a great Thanksgiving. You got a chance to get around some people that love you and care about you. Hopefully, you got a chance to become more aware of your thinking, of your thought process, of your language, of what you hear, what you're consuming, and then what you're also giving out to people. And now we have the ability, as long as we make the decision, we have the ability to go off and change some of those things and tweak some of those things so we can get to our ideal life, y'all. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. Your friends deserve it. They're all counting on you, whether you believe it or not. They're counting on you to get this information and go make it happen. And I believe that y'all can. All right. Go out, do something that scares you this weekend. See you back here on Monday. Take care, y'all. Have a good one.